Imani. Yes, this is the last day of Kwanzaa. The Karamu Imani. My name is Kweku, Larry Franklin Crowe. I'm with the Dayton Africana Elders Council and Alkebu-lan and Msingi Kweli, known as AMK here in Dayton. We start today with a libation for our ancestors. And it's fitting that we do this. And I was taught this when I was in college by Dr. Kipanyeno Koech of Kenya, who's a Kipsigi. So when I pour the libation, I want everybody to say what the Kipsigi say, which is soy. It sounds like soy, like we're used to, but it's actually spelled S-A-E. For our ancestors everywhere, for all of our ancestors who built the great civilizations of the Nile Valley, Nubia and Kemet, and all those ancestors who developed the arts of fishing and hunting and growing crops and doing art and carving stone and smithing gold, we pour this libation. Soy. For all of our ancestors who built the great civilizations of West Africa, for Ghana, Mali, Songhai, for those who built the great civilizations of Mana Matapa in Congo, for all of those ancestors that built the great civilizations in South Africa, we pour this libation.
Soy.
For all of our ancestors who resisted European domination, who fought in the villages, who fought in the barracoons, who fought on the slave ship on the way over here, for all of those, known and unknown, we pour this libation.
Soy.
For all of our ancestors who came to this country and were enslaved and found themselves in bondage, from all those who resisted, for all those who were even victimized, for all those ancestors who have given us this legacy of oppression and yet hope, we pour this libation.
Soy.
For all of our ancestors here in this country who have been concerned about African redemption, for Martin R. Delaney, for Katherine Johnson, for Frederick Douglass, for the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, for Dr. Willis N. Huggins, for all of the people that organize study groups and organizations to free us from the constraints of American society, we pour this libation.
Soy.
And this is a libation for Alkebu-lan and Msingi Kweli, the group that I belong to, that founded the Karamu Imani in Dayton back in 1974. For all those ancestors who have passed away, for Bibi Ashe, for Gahiji Garland Ross, for Nyofu Bill Morrell, for Seshmeet Maat, for John Kendall, for Bolagan Wendell Peters, for all of those ancestors that tried to bring study and resources to the Black community, we pour this libation.
Soy.
For John Henry Clark, whose birthday is today, we pour this libation.
Soy.
And for all of us and all of our parents and relatives, known and unknown, who have struggled to make a fuller and freer life for us on these shores, we pour this libation.
Soy.
So I just wanted to explain that this would be, if these were different times, I guess it still is, the 46th rather, Karamu Imani, sponsored by Alkebu-lan and Msingi Kweli. We started doing this in 1974. Now the first Kwanzaa in Dayton, I believe, was celebrated in 1968 by the Women's Umoja Society, which is right around the corner from here, with Minnie Johnson and Florence Tate and Virgie Harris and other women. That was in 68, but it didn't happen again here, as far as I know, until 1974. And we've been consistent since 1974 with the Karamu Ya Imani. And during the Karamu, everyone comes together around the principle of Imani, and that's the principle for today. You see on the table all the symbols of Kwanzaa. I just kind of walk through them in case this is the first Kwanzaa video you've seen. On the table, first we have the mkeka, the straw mat, which represents our African foundation upon which everything else rests, all the different cultural connections in this straw mat as they link together. Immediately on the mat is the mazao, or the crops, and these fruits represent the fruits of our labors, those good things we've done that have been good and sweet and nourishing for the rest of the year. Because, of course, Kwanzaa is based on an agricultural holiday, but today, most of us are not farmers, but we're thinking about the good things we've done for our neighbors and friends over the course of the year. On the cup I use for libation is called the Kikombe Cha Umoja, or the cup of unity. And by pouring libation, we try to unify ourselves, not just in the present time, but through historical time. We have corn here, the muhindi. Muhindi represents our children and our ability to procreate, because one kernel of corn can be planted. You can get a whole another corn stalk with enough kernels to plant an entire field. So we're like that. So our children are important because what we teach them multiplies as we live and learn. On the table here on the mat is what we call a kinara, and the kinara is a candle holder. It represents the common root that we all spring from. In the kinara are 7 candles, the Mishuma 7, and the 7 candles represent the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba. And the Nguzo Saba is a minimum set of values that we embrace, that all Black people should embrace in the community. It's not all the values, but it's a minimum set. If you embrace these, you're doing pretty good. So on the first day, we light the candle for Umoja. Sister Olabisi, could you light that one? Umoja means unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. The second day, we light the red candle that represents Kuji Chagulia, self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, and speak for ourselves instead of being defined and spoken for by others. On the third day, we light the candle for Ujima. That's a good idea. Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. It means to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. On the fourth day, we light a candle, this one here, and this represents Ujamaa. Ujamaa means cooperative economics. It means that we should build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit together from them. On the sixth day, we light the candle for Kuumba. Kuumba means to clean up, create, and build. It means to do always as much as we can in the way that we can to leave our communities more beautiful and beneficial than they were before we inherited them. On the last day, we light the candle for Imani. Imani means faith. And I want to tell you that Kwanzaa was never configured to be a religious holiday, but a secular one. So when we talk about faith, we're not talking about a particular religion, but faith in each other. Faith in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our people, and in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. That combined with whatever individual faith you have should make for a successful year. So those are the 7 principles. And another symbol I did not mention were the zawadi, or the gifts. The gifts can be instruments, they can be books, they can be usually are given to children based upon the promises that children keep, the things that they say they're going to do that they actually do. And we reward them by presenting them with gifts that are developmental, that teach them something and pique their curiosity That's what the Zawadi are all about. And you see, we have some of the books that are here in the EboNia gallery where we are today. Brother Bing's books. I forgot to bring a bag of my books, but I knew I was coming to Bing's EboNia gallery. So he would have some here already. And of course he does. And that would happen if he came to my house, or if I came to Olabisi's house, or, Audrey's house, same thing, or Shaq's house, same thing, or Javon's house, or Brother Steve Muhammad's house. So just want to say that AMK, the organization that founded the Karamu years ago and has been doing it every year since 1974, started out in 1973 as a study group to bring in the historian from New York who claimed ancestry from Ethiopia, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen. He wrote a book called Black Man of the Nile. And that was big then, and we brought him in for a book party. He came back several times, and Dayton was one of his favorite places. We found out that one of his mentors was Professor John Glover Jackson, John G. Jackson, the author of Introduction to African Civilizations. So we brought him to Dayton. Back in 1974, he spoke at the Boys Club on Germantown. We found out that John Jackson and Dr. Ben were good friends with Dr. John Henry Clark. So we brought him. He spoke at Sinclair College, and he spoke in Cincinnati, and he spoke in Columbus. And myself and Brother Bill Morrell helped drive them from airport to speaking engagement and back and forth and listen to their conversations. So this is the kind of grounding that we had here. Alkebu-lan also sponsored in those days something called Shule Jumamosi, or Saturday School. And it was held at Shiloh Baptist Church. They had an arrangement with Reverend Parker. I don't know if Reverend Parker is still around, but they had an arrangement with Reverend Parker at Shiloh Baptist Church because he wanted the children of the church to learn about their heritage and culture. So, and there are other programs. We sponsored a cultural fest once when it was dormant. It was down at the convention center. That's some of the history of Alkebu-lan. And so what I'm going to do is show some video of the past Karamus and some photos of the past Karamus, so you'll have a sense of what we have done here in Dayton for the past 46 years. From time to time, people say, and I saw it in Dayton Daily News just a couple of years ago, the Kwanzaa is dead. The Black people don't celebrate it anymore. They don't find it important. It's been a joke on The Simpsons. It's been a joke on other sitcoms where people that they don't really know what they're talking about. When you go to, on New Year's Day at Northwest Recreation Center, you're liable to see 300 or 400 Africans celebrating Kwanzaa. And some are at home and didn't come out because the weather's usually bad. In Chicago, you've got thousands in Malcolm X College or at Kennedy King College celebrating. In New York City, they're at City College in New York, thousands of people celebrating. And they're celebrating the red, the black, and the green. They're celebrating these 7 principles. And I don't think it's going to die. And I trust it won't. And as long as you keep a commitment to it. So with that, we're going to show some video of past and photos of past Kwanzaas. Thank you.
Unity. And why you think the cup? And because that's what we're celebrating today. Umoja, unity. Why you think this cup represents unity? Circle, perhaps one of that.
Holds everything together.
What does it hold together?
It holds the liquid.
It holds it holds the people. You will see what people it holds together when we do libation. Because when we do libation, you begin to see what the unity is all about. And sometimes we forget that we do need this unity, and we need to reinforce it in ourselves and our community. So the cup is a unity cup. It's called the Kukombo Cha Umoja. Kukombo Cha Umoja is the unity cup. The corn is representative of what? Did we already talk about that?
Probably the children.
Children. Children. Why do children? During Kwanzaa, you always have an ear of corn, even if you have no children in the home. But if you have what? 2 children in the home, you have what? 2 ears of corn. You got 4 children in the home, you have what? 4 ears of corn. Why do we have an ear of corn representing children in Kwanzaa?
Because of the seeds.
The seeds, each kernel. What does that tell us about our community and our children? Offsprings. So what Kwanzaa basically, when we look at the symbols, and especially look at the corn, Kwanzaa really tells us that our children have almost, they have qualities and they have capabilities oftentimes that is almost limitless. It is almost limitless.
So yes, like Amaha said, my name is Mariah Johnson, and I am a songstress and a poet, and I'm not gonna speak too much. I'm gonna let my song and the poetry do a lot of the speaking, but before I perform, I do wanna shout out Leroy Bean. He could not be here today. He was actually going to perform this poem, but instead I'm gonna read it for him on his behalf. So I also encourage you to, if you would like, close your eyes, just so that you can focus more on the words, the content. This is not necessarily for you to like, this is for you to feel, and to kind of like set the tone for the rest of the evening. beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, beautiful man, beautiful people, beautiful land. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, then breathe some more. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, then breathe some more. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind, you're not easily cracked. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind, you're not easily cracked. Determine who you are, determine who you'll be, determined you'll go far, determined you'll be free. Determine who you are, determine who you'll be, determined you'll go far, determined you'll be free. Beautiful woman, beautiful man, beautiful people, beautiful land. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. You are more than what they told you. You are more than. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind, you're not easily cracked. Push the mountains off your back, off your mind, you're not easily cracked. You see pride in your hands, overflow, pour back into the land. You see pride in your hands, overflow, pour back into the land. Determine who you are, determine who you'll be, determined you'll go far, determined you'll be free. Determine who you are, determine who you'll be, determined you'll go far, determined you'll be free. As a writer, it is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you. Artist oath. So, what's your personal growth plan? A person of growth and awareness of self has more wealth than a man with a 9 in his right and 100 mil in the other hand. So you saying, since time is money, this ain't the time to focus something on self? And you can really stand there knowing you're slowly sinking in quicksand, panicking, because the damage is too severe to your life and where it landed at is too far off course. You missed the landing strip that people been guiding you through since your first minute. You too conditioned to remember how you became you until you rejected it and still ain't found out how to fix it yet. As a writer, it is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you, artist oath. So what's your personal growth plan? People love So what's your personal growth plan? People love to dream a change of circumstance, but won't change the circumference of the company you keep or change cities, but packing the same habits, that's the same baggage you took last trip and still ain't come back different. That's not dissing the job or the school you in, more so the toxic characteristics you refuse to acknowledge, yet your concern is finding a top-notch relationship. Let me break this down real quick. You can't be a person in pieces with no desire to clean it and expect to have a healthy, functioning relationship with a person that exists in the same toxic reality that your senses uses to confirm your consciousness and still find the beauty in it more than your hurt feelings. You need a personal growth plan. You should follow your introspective path to build an intro to your perspective and show the path of your experiences that have placed you in the present day, where you are now, dedicated to spending the rest of your days dating yourself from day to night. My plan be like, my mind open, explore an ocean of peace, read, meditate, healthy eats, exercise, and make a cycle consistently, allow myself to feel, and that still includes crying. Then analyze my heart and my mind to figure out where those feelings came from, only for my subconscious to finally shout out that it's connected to some trauma back in 2000. And that ain't even something I got the power to fix in one night, or 2 books that align, or 3 albums from my favorite artists that sync up with the time as a writer. It is my job to make you question your life by describing your own reality to you, because I live in it too. Artist O. Now please, invest in a personal growth plan. Thank you.
Tiffany and I are doing a yoga presentation. We intend it to be both a tribute and a gift. It's a tribute to our ancient African ancestors of the Nile Valley civilization. They created the system of the Neteru, nature, natural, to bring unity in mind, body, and spirit. In this way, they sought good health and well-being. The Neteru represent the ways energy exists in our lives and can be channeled to strengthen our life force and ability to bring harmony and good into the world. In this time of great stresses on our community's health, we offer the gift of yoga. On this day of umoja, unity, we offer a way to unify the mind, body, and spirit. Yoga can be done by all ages of people. It strengthens the immune system. It expands the lungs and the breath capacity. It builds flexibility in the body at any stage of life. Although it is a form of exercise, it brings about relaxation in the body and lifts the spirit. We encourage everyone to find one of the many kinds of yoga practices. Find the one that you feel most comfortable with and start a regular routine that could last a lifetime and extend your life. We will present Kemetic, Hatha, and Kundalini postures and movements done to the beautiful poetry of Tiffany Brown. The photo images on your screen are images from the ancient yoga practitioners of ancient Kemet and some of the symbols they created and inspired. Hatepu Asante Sana.
A baby girl's first cry lets you know that she has arrived. But what of a grown woman's cry? I am Tiffany, daughter of Brenda, who is the daughter of Mary, and I was first born in 1976, but I was reborn in July 2020 during the coronavirus pandemic. I can only imagine what my firstborn cries expressed. Feelings of surprise, discontent, and wonderment, yearning to be bathed in my mother's embrace and nourishment. But my reborn cries during this unprecedented time have expressed a wide range of feelings and emotions, sort of like colors in a rainbow. But imagine the only colors you see are shades of black. Black fear due to systems of injustice and oppression that devalue Black bodies in neighborhoods, boardrooms, and hospital beds. Cries of breathlessness and restlessness in pursuit of peace and justice, yet blatantly disrespected. But there is also Black joy and fearlessness, because while they go low, the powers that be, continuing to fail at leadership and governance for you and me, I aim high uplifted by the powers in me bestowed by my ancestors. Empowered to take the lead in my life, where leading means loving myself first, exemplifying greatness, acting in my own authority, and delivering on my promises. No longer doubting or delaying, but owning and proclaiming that Black health and healing is mine to discover and design. So from this rebirth going forth, I am welcoming and reimagining new ideas, dreams, and visions, bathed in gratitude and thanksgiving for my grandmother and their mothers who gave us all living. I am inspired to be more creative with these cries that I make, that they may ring melodies and rhythms of Black healing and radical transformation. Breathing in meditation, words of affirmation, dancing and drumming, dancing and drumming in celebration.
She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. You got to have Umoja, Kuji, Chakalia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kahuma, and Imani. Harambe, pull it together. Harambe, pull it together. Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa. Boom! Yeah. talk to me ever again. No, I'll be seeing them soon.
Come on, kid.
I'm not myself. Ready to go.
I love myself. I respect
Louder.
myself. I forgive myself.
Rosa.
I cherish myself.
Jesse Jackson.
I
Come
am
on.
somebody.
5,
Stay alive.
10.
Stay out the pen.
So I can
Use my pen.
Woo. No, that's a C. No.
Come on, y'all.
Parents, A equals awesome. B equals better. C equals change. D equals darn that hurt. And F, you forgot everything. All right. So they need to do this again. Or I'm not talking to them. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. I love. Here we go. Ready? Go. There you go.
Love myself. I respect
Louder.
myself. I forgive
Rosa
myself.
Parks.
I cherish myself.
Michael Jackson.
I am somebody. 5, stay alive. 10, stay out the pen so I can use my pen. Woo, baby.
All right, what I do? Who invented the fountain pen?
William Purvis.
All right, give it up for it. What about the community? Community what? The circle represents the what? Are you bigger than the community?
No.
All right, y'all give it up for them. Give it up.
When we think about life, when we look at the human body and the blood circulating through the human body, right? You know that a person is alive because blood is flowing through the body. Well, in a capitalistic system, blood is equated to money, but money doesn't flow in our community. So without us patronizing each other, without us having an entrepreneurial mindset and building businesses, as my brother said, to leave something for generations to come, we have to begin to see that we need to pull our resources, come together and do something for self. We need to go ahead, as Brother Victor said, is to separate. We don't have to separate, go to Africa or something, but we can use the model of the Chinese. I go to Philadelphia, I go to New York, guess what they got? Chinatowns. That's right. When you go in Chinatowns, they got Chinese writing on the street signs. I went into a Chinese shop. He was reading a newspaper with Chinese writing. We just got to support our own. We got to support our Black newspapers, our Black businesses, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into the new year with the mindset that when we see our brothers and sisters, don't mean mug them. You know what I mean? That is spiritually your brother, sister. And you know, I'll be in a large crowd and I'll see a brother or a sister, all white people, right? I see a brother and a sister and I'm going to acknowledge them. That's just me.
Right, amen.
And they looking all crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, if something broke out, Negro, you're going to look for me and I'm going to look for you. You got to get it right. So thank you, brother. Excuse me, I didn't mean to slip right. You all know what I'm talking about.
Kwanzaa, of course, was created in 1966 by Maulana Karenga. Dr. Maulana Karenga has 2 PhDs, teaches at the University of California, Long Beach now, and has a cultural center in South Central Los Angeles. He's internationally known, and one of the projects that he worked on with Dr. Jacob Carruthers in Chicago is the Husia, Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Kemet. This book came out a long time ago, and everybody is still using this. And these are actual wisdom texts from ancient Africa that go back 6,000 years. And here is one from the book of, I think it's Phebor. Yeah, Phebor, Phebhor. And I like this one because of the times we're living in now. One who fears all harm avoids all harm. Do not take lightly a small illness for which there is a remedy. Take the remedy. A small snake has poison. A small river has its dangers. A small fire should be feared. A small document has great benefit. A small cord binds. A small truth defends its owner. A small lie causes trouble for one who tells it. A little food gives health to one who has it. A little saving leads to wealth. A little heart sustains the owner. A little good news makes the heart happy. A little dew gives life to the fields. A little wind carries the boat along. A little bee brings honey. A small locust lays waste to the grapevine. A small wrong leads towards death, and a small good deed is not hidden from God. Thus, many are the small things that deserve respect, but few are the great things that merit admiration. So at the end of this year, this 2020, as we start a new year, let's think about being diligent in all things, and may next year in 2022 find us smiling and laughing and stronger than ever. I'm going to ask Sister Olabisi Olakalade from Pakwasum in Orlando to lead us in 7 Harambe's.
Harambe,
Harambe, Harambe, Harambe, Harambe, Harambe, Harambe.
Thank you for tuning in to another Blaqsage production. Please like this video, share it with friends, family, and associates. Drop a comment in the section below and subscribe.